Guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today guys, I'm playtesting Cyberpunk 2077 on the Asus TUF A15. This laptop has a RTX 4060, 16 gigs of RAM. The CPU has 8 cores, 16 threads. All the PC specs, laptop specs actually, will be in the description of the video, so if you want to read them, they'll be right below. So I'm just going to go around. This is actually low settings and like I'm getting 140 frames. This is with no DLSS or anything. It looks incredible. There'll be no spoilers. This is very early on in the DLC. I just thought so far when I was playing it, this is definitely one more of the demanding places with all the lighting and stuff. Because I'll show you in a minute how demanding it gets. But I'll be honest with you, this game performs really well, especially with all the new updates. And if you enjoy this video, leave a like. This looks really demanding, so if this runs really well, then you know the laptop's going to run the game. So this is low settings, and in a second I'm going to go high with ray tracing and then also ultra with ray tracing, also turning on DLSS and frame generation and stuff, which are all things to increase performance. But like right now I'm sitting in the easy 120, 130, and honestly the game still looks really good. Obviously I'm playing at 1080p. Now this is high without ray tracing and we are getting 120 FPS. And as you can see, the game looks incredible. Like, this is stupid. Now I'm gonna turn on ray tracing in a second, but we are literally not dipping below 110 FPS. Like, for a story-driven game, RPG, where you're just playing it like by yourself, like 60 is enough, in my opinion. Over 100 is just like, I mean, I'll take what I can get, but like the game looks stunning. Now we're gonna go to high with ray tracing. So this is high with DLSS on quality, frame generation. Its lighting is set to ultra, which I might take that down honestly because that's definitely hindering the performance. But we're actually getting like 50 frames, 40 frames. But I feel like the frame generation is doing something to the screen because it's such low FPS. So I might change that. So I'm gonna tinker around with a few settings to see if we can get like 60. So I just put the ray tracing lighting down to medium, and straight away like the game feels a lot smoother. So now this is ultra with no ray tracing, and as you can see we're getting 77 frames, 78 frames. So this is extremely, like, this is performing insanely well. This is ultra, we're getting about 100 frames now, 93 frames. Like, it's running really well, and there is a performance mode on the laptop. Will make the fans go a bit crazy, and for the video's sake I'm not going to do that, just because the video, all you would hear is fans and you wouldn't be able to hear me. So I thought I'd just do this. Just expect like a 10% boost in performance probably if you want performance. But yeah, about 95 frames. So this is ultra, we're getting about 60 FPS. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put DLSS on just to see if we can get a few more frames. So now we have DLSS on quality and we're getting 100 FPS. And honestly, I do not see a difference in quality or clarity at all. Like, honestly, the game looks just as good as it did a second ago. Yeah, we're getting an extra 10 to 15 frames. Like, the game looks incredible. As you can see, you could probably like mess around with settings and put like some ray tracing settings on, maybe put the game to the quality, and you could easily get like a lot of frames. Now we're gonna go ray tracing low. Let's see how that looks. So this is ray tracing low. Literally, I did nothing myself. This is just what the game sets it for you. And I'm sitting around 74, 75 FPS. So now we are playing on ultra with ray tracing, and we're getting easily 70 FPS. So that is absolutely insane. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, there's a saying for everyone. Like, if you want to play in 100 FPS plus, you easily can. If you want to play it with ray tracing, you definitely can. But yeah, just wow. Like, that is insane. Look at the fucking like lighting. That is insane. This is ray tracing medium. We're in the 50s now, but again, this is no DLSS, nothing, and I'll turn that on in a second to see if it makes much of a difference. But we're getting about 70 FPS. like 69, 71, 72, still extremely playable. So there's definitely a setting or two that are just so demanding. So I just put DLSS onto quality just to see, and now we're getting 84 frames on ultra ray tracing medium, 1080p, 80 FPS on a gaming laptop, and this is the most hard performing part of the game. Like, the game will only perform better after this point, so expect more frames, like easily up 20 plus more frames, because I was getting 20 plus more frames on this setting myself. Like, literally moments before this I was getting in the hundreds, and it dipped drastically. I was like, whoa. So that's why I said I'll show this part of the game, because one, it's so beautiful, two, it's so performing that you just know, well, if this runs well here, it's going to run well everywhere else. Right, so now we are on ray tracing ultra, graphics settings ultra, DLSS on quality, I believe, and we're getting 64, 71 frames. Like, it's honestly ridiculous how well this game runs. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful game. Now we're dipping into the 50s, but still stunning. I have DLSS on performance, and we are in the 70s, high 60s. Again, performing extremely well, and you could easily get into the 80s, 90s with performance mode on the laptop, and in other areas you could get into the hundreds quite easily. So I believe ray tracing is definitely achievable on this laptop. Now this is ray tracing ultra, and we're going to do overdrive in a second. This is 42 frames without DLSS, and we do have frame generation on, of course, and we're in the 60s. Still in the 60s. This is ridiculous. Now I'm going to put DLSS on. Okay, so for this I put DLSS on balanced, and we are still in the 60s, 70s. Like, honestly didn't make too much of a difference. Just because really you can't get much more performance than this on this laptop, I'm expecting. Like, this is like, you don't really need more performance than this when you're playing with ray tracing stuff. Not many PCs can get this much performance, let alone a fucking laptop. Now we're in overdrive, and we're getting about 46, 37, 40 frames. This is without DLSS with frame generation on. I'm going to turn DLSS on now in a second. Now DLSS performance is on, and we're now in the 60s on ultra ray tracing, like, and the game still looks beautiful. Like, it looks incredible. I genuinely would not go much higher than this. 60 FPS for me is perfect, to be honest. Throughout while I play this game, I'll probably have it capped at 60 and try and get the highest looking graphics. That's how I play my games anyways. One more thing, if you really did enjoy this video, please do leave a like. It really does help. I'd really appreciate it if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment below on a different game you'd like me to check out on this laptop. I'd really appreciate that too. Subscribe if you want more videos like these. Appreciate you all. I'll see you all later. Goodbye.